Do, 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 do. Dumpty 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 doo. All right. Let me see. Hello, hello. Just playing around a bit. Tjena, tjena. Let's see if the streaming quality is not the best, it says. Let me see. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Hello. I was planning to fix a little bit on my bike and I haven't done a video for a while, so let's just hang out and see what happens. A little chat. Hello, hello. Salisbury. Salisbury, is that how you say it? Cool, cool. I'm just hanging out in my shed, fixing some stuff. Can you hear me? Is my voice coming through? Looks like meters are working at least. Give me a sign in the chat if you can hear me all right. Good. Hello from Bulgaria. Hello everyone. All right. Could you just type if you can hear me all right in the audio? Okay, good. I thought I was going to get things done, but this is happening, so all right. What's my odometer on the bike? It's let's turn it on. Actually, I can show you. Perhaps you can see it now. 18 degrees, that's the beauty of having the garage. And there's the odometer, 63,932 kilometers. Something like that. Oh, she's shining now. Yeah, good. Nice t-shirt, eh? Yeah, I need to have some proper Yamaha gear, of course. Merhaba Turkey. Thanks for having us in your country. It was awesome. All right. Yeah, so I haven't done a video for a while. So I just thought I'd start a live stream in the garage and chat with you guys and play with the bike. Actually, Friday and no beer. Actually, I don't have any beer, but I have the emergency beer. I always leave one here in the garage, so it's 25 minutes past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm actually in the office now working, but I work online, so who cares? I'm in here now, and it's actually down here. I have it close to this little here because this is where the cold air comes in. So this is going to be nice. Okie doke. I guess it's a trademark now. But, and from the Turkish video, I should have a FS, but yeah. Cheers, happy Friday out there. Oh, yes. Even Thomas Hansen would be proud of me. Good morning from Texas. Yeah, thanks for shouting out. I'm glad you like this Swedish channel, trying to be international, but yeah. And my Texan dialect is not the best. Okay, KTM Super Adventure 1290. Vebjørn Remen. All right. Mange turer venter. Yeah, that's good. Skål hei nå. Yeah, this garage, I've been posting pictures and making videos of it, but you wouldn't believe how incredible this is. From the little cold shed and to this. Actually, yeah, let's take a little tour. I can see the chat here. I'm not sure if the internet coverage, so I'll just stand in my place here, but yeah, the lounge area. We have the world map there now. Yeah, drawing lines from the trips and the bar and some stuff. I actually get stuff from Moscow Moto now that I'm going to use for the Africa trip, so going to try that. Here's the little project. The little Suzuki. This is the new seat. So it's going to be a nice little cafe racer. Just you're gonna need to cut some metal and bring in Seymour to do some welding and stuff. I have the carburetor coming in. Cleaned and adjusted and everything. Yeah, my son's bike. And we're back. Like so. Cha 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 cha, check in, there I am. All right. So, we have Greece, Lithuania. Perhaps some outdoor people there. Would be nice. All right, so where in Africa? I can see it's so much delay here on the actual video, but let's see. So, yeah, we're planning an Africa trip, and I can show you actually. Let's do some switching here. And I think that'll be good. So yeah, we usually so far we rode all the way where we were going. We went all the way down to Turkey here, but now we only have a little bit more than 3 weeks. So we're going to fly to, and you see the dots here, Tanzania. And we're going to land in Dar es Salaam, the capital, and then we're going to rent bikes and go. The most most visited places are the northern part of Tanzania. So because there we have Kilimanjaro, the mountain, the largest mountain or highest in Africa. We have a lot of national parks up here. We have Serengeti, and the cradle of civilization, or mankind as they call it, the Ngorongoro crater, which is yeah, like a big crater. So the red dots here, the red markers, are approximately where we are going to go on bikes. So do an inland lap here for about 2 weeks, and then we go back to Dar es Salaam and return the bikes that we rented after 14 days approximately, because we have this little paradise island here, Zanzibar. We're going over there, but apparently there's some bureaucracy, and it's not, they're sort of not fully self-controlled, but they're sort of don't know how to express it, but you cannot take bikes on the ferry over to Zanzibar without a lot of fees and bureaucracy, and it takes time and so on. So we're leaving the bikes here, taking the ferry over to Zanzibar, checking out the cool beaches. It's really awesome, supposedly. So we're going to spend the last few days here before we go back to Dar es Salaam and fly back home. So it's going to be a bit different than the European and Turkish trips that we did so far, because now we're going out a bit in the bush, and finding petrol and accommodation and food is going to be a little bit different, because you have the really outback bush places here. If you go out here, it's really, really out of civilization in a bit. But you have everything from super expensive Serengeti luxury safari camps. I saw places where you pay 1,500 euros per night, all the way down to just huts and cottages. So it's really, you had those luxury people just flying in with a jet, going on this luxury safari on a bumpy jeep ride, and then fly back home. But yeah, we're going to take the dirt roads around here, and yeah, I have no idea. This is an adventure indeed that we're going to experience here. So yeah, let's see. All right. Oh, thank you, Gregor. Kaching, a beer came in. Thank you. Let's see. Cheers from Turkey at Edirne. Yeah, remember that place? That's where I got the bad stomach, but the city was nice. Yeah, but for those who don't know, next trip in August, next sort of trip movie, the full-length one, is going to be Tanzania, Africa. And it's quite fun because we're going to fly to Dar es Salaam, and because that was the cheapest and fastest flight there. So, but apparently there's no bikes to be rented in that area at all. It's all up in the north. So I sent an email, because you shouldn't be shy, you should just fake it till you make it. So I have sent an email to the embassy of Tanzania in Stockholm, in Sweden, the ambassador there. And first email ever, I started with Your Excellency, because that was the title of the ambassador. And I said, I told the truth, but it sounds a bit professional, I guess. But we're a team of filmmakers that's going to ride around on bikes in Tanzania to make a travel documentary. And that's what we're doing. And I just shot that out there. And now I got an invitation, so I'm actually going to Stockholm later this month and to meet Her Excellency, the Ambassador of Tanzania in Stockholm. So it's like we're doing a state visit. First Biden a few years ago, and now the Nomads are making the official Tanzanian visit. So it's going to be interesting to see how that meeting or what happens there. Because I wrote that we want to portray your country in the best possible way, and could you help us find some bikes and things to make this documentary a reality. 3 hours later we had a contact, and the bikes were were settled. So we now have bikes. We're going to ride around on the small 250 Honda 250 CRF 250L. So they're going to be perfect, I think, for the trip. They're light, they're quite easily maintained, and yeah, I think that'll be good. And we'll just have this. We won't be camping again. Just bring this, because we're flying and bringing all that stuff. It's not that easy on the plane, I guess. So just the usual 30-liter bag, and yeah, get on the bikes and aim in a direction in Tanzania and see where we end up. Yeah, I haven't ridden the 250. They're not the rally version, it's sort of the naked one, but it's going to be great because I actually don't have much experience riding other bikes than those I have. I haven't been ridden for 40 years and tried everything out there. I rode many different mountain bikes because that's what I did before this, but other than that I've ridden the beasts, BMW 1200 GSA, and then this one, and just a few laps with my friend's bikes perhaps, but like that. So yeah. Oh, are we still streaming the... Well, it's lagging, yeah, with what's live and where I am. I may feel a strong vibration on the CRF, yes, but first of all, I'm an iron butt. I rode Turkey, the 11,000 kilometer trip in 5 weeks, and I never had a problem with that. And now in Africa we're going to go even slower on these dirt roads and so on. So really going to take it easy and yeah, not do that many kilometers per day. I guess 200 kilometers a day or something like that maximum, just to be able to ride around. Yeah, so comfort, it's very subjective. The only comfort thing that I was missing on the T7 when I went on the Turkey trip, because there was so many kilometers, 11,000, and I got a cramp in my throttle hand here. So I found different ways of pulling the throttle. So cruise control, sure, but even a throttle lock would have been sufficient. The camera gear that we're going to bring on the next trip is going to be a little bit more, because I've so far only used the helmet cam, the GoPro, a little 360 camera, and the iPhone. And I like that because you can make really awesome movies with just these small cameras. But now I got myself a DSLR, a heavy system camera, and the footage is so good, and it's really a visual place also that we're going to. So hopefully I will bring the tripod and the big camera and make my buddies tired of me to stop and put the tripod and everything. But I'm already making the movie. Some people don't want to make video when they go riding and so on, but because that takes away from the experience. But I can't do anything without, I feel more stressed when I'm not filming than I do if I, yeah, as you know. All right, we have someone crossing the border to the very exotic Sweden tomorrow. Prime goal, fetch some cheap alcohol. All right, so you're from Norway, aren't you? Because we don't have cheap alcohol for other people than Norwegian, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, with a big camera, it's really, once you get that footage to work with, it's hard to not bring it. So I'm prepping a tank bag to with foam in the bottom, because it's going to vibrate a lot and it's a bit more sensitive. So yeah, prepping that, and yeah, bring it along, put it on the CRF. What makes us choose location for adventures? What's our criteria? This time when we chose Africa, we actually did choose between a lot of countries, and we sort of had a process. The previous, we haven't been riding that many years. We've been on these long trips for the last 2 years only, so we're quite new in the game. So the first one was Balkans and the East, which is, so you don't have to think about that. That's the best place in Europe to ride because of all the nature in the Carpathians, and yeah, it was awesome. So go there. Then Turkey was based on Stefan and Tony, my Nomad buddies. They did a large trip the year before that when they started Nomad, because they did just crappy video back then before I came. They know that, so they don't get mad. But they did a trip down to the border of Iran, but they didn't get into Iran, so they went up to the Stan countries and stuff like that. But coming back, they said, what was the best part of the entire trip? And they said Turkey was the best place of that trip that they made, with all the food and the scenery and the people, and it was very pleasant place to go. So we thought that let's go back to Turkey and do a big focus and a big lap in Turkey. So that's what we did. But now with Africa, we first started with USA. We want and still want to go to US. We want to go, we had some plans, landing in Chicago, renting bikes, riding the BDRs and yeah, parts of the US to Los Angeles and leave the bikes there and fly back. But that turned out to be a too expensive adventure. We have to get to Itchy Boots level before we can do that, I guess, economically. And 4 people, 4 bikes rented, 4 people eating and so on. So that's was a no-go this time. So then we looked at other countries with a better price level, and then we aimed in on South Africa, because that's sort of the beginner state of Africa. It's sort of a little bit of Europe in Africa. But in August turns out to be the time frame where we all four can go, and it's winter time in South Africa, and it's cold and it's a lot of rain and so on. So we started looking on climate wise. So where in the world is exotic for us, a new place far away which has good climate in August, and that was northern India, Nepal. That was nice. So that's still really tempting. We want to go there. And we looked at Japan also, not because they have great off-road or anything, but it's a different planet, so that would be nice. But then we found Tanzania, because that's more a real Africa, more than South Africa. Tanzania has a lot of everything, with the big five and the big game parks and nature in Kilimanjaro and everything. And it's pleasant. It's 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. It's the dry season, where we have about 0 millimeters of rain for that month. And also because of the dry season, there's a lot of animal movement. They make these big shifts in where they are, and they cross rivers with these. Yeah, so perhaps we can see something about like that. Yeah, so we homed in on Africa. The bikes are cheaper to rent, not free, but the US was, I mean, like $180 for a bike, plus this, plus that, plus insurance, and plus whatever, so it gets really expensive. Africa, we got the price for $60 per day per bike, so that's quite good, and comparative at least. And not a lot of extra stuff, so that's the price. So yeah, it's turning out quite okay. We have the plane tickets booked, the bikes are booked, and yeah, we just have to go there, and the prices of gas and living and so on is also quite cheap. So all right, let's catch up. There are people from Oregon and Washington, and that's quite cool. I'm in my little garage in Sweden, and here you are. All right, yeah, Japan, favorite country, Saminami, Slovenia. We did a little, we passed through Slovenia on 21. South America, yeah, that's a big continent, but it's a bit, maybe it's, I mean, you can ride there. There are people riding back and forth all the time, but there are some parts that are dangerous, and yeah, it just hasn't lured us in just yet, because we have so many other places that we want to visit first. So, all right, Texas people. Oh, there are so many places we want to go, and that's the purpose of this whole channel. People think that we have Nomad Sweden. Is that a company? Do you do tours? Do you sell stuff? What do you do? No, we ride our bikes just like anyone else. We just have fun making videos, and the goal is to make a trip, and the video should generate so much money so that we can go on the next trip, which becomes a video that pays for the next trip, that becomes a video, and when we get that full circle going on, then we're in a nice place. So of course, the channel alone is not paying for this big 3 weeks plus Africa tour for 4 people, but it's certainly helping. Let's say at least you guys with the channel watching it pays for the flight there and the bikes, and that's a good help. Only from the ad revenue of the videos, where we don't have ads in the middle of the videos, only beginning and after, who watches ads after the video. So with just that, it's still it's quite all right. We save up everything for the next trip and spend it there. Hello, Holland is here. Skog 23. Yeah, skog. That's the Swedish name for forest, and it's the name of the sort of outdoor adventure event / festival in Sweden in May. It's very limited, only 100 seats, but 100 people at that place, if you were there, it's a lot of people. But it has to be capped there because the riding area is also a bit sensitive. So yeah, but yeah, we're going there, all the 4 of us. Yeah, maybe you've seen the videos that we did from Skog the last times, and meet all the people and so on. And the strange thing with going to events like that is to meet people that knows you, because we don't get out much. I'm here in front of the computer. I see you people chatting with me. It's really fun. But meeting people, that we don't get out that much to see other people. So when people come and say, "Hey, Robert," and blah blah blah, that thing you did on your bike, and that's really strange. So yeah. Otherwise, all right. Tata Morgana adventure. I'll see you at Skog then. And after Skog, actually, I'm going to live in the tent from Thursday to Sunday with other nomads and all the guests there and so on, from Thursday to Sunday. Then back to work a few days, and then Thursday to Sunday again to Rally Grenseland. That's a road book rally in the Oslo region, going up north. So 2 days of road book rally. Really looking forward to that, because I love riding the road book events. And after that, we have June and July, and that's Sweden time, because it's easy to forget your own country, really, because Sweden is, if you like riding gravel and in forests and sleeping outdoors, wild camping by lakes and so on, it's the place to be. So we're going to do a lot of that, I think, in the summer. And not revealing anything, but we're going to test riding and finding new trails in Sweden using a new navigation and route planning app that a few guys are doing, that sort of allows you to make your own Trans-Euro trail track almost in Sweden with just a few clicks. So you don't have to go on the beaten path. You get new tracks all the time, and they seem to really work in a good way. So that is coming up. Not sure when they're done, but they've gone far, and I will for sure help them out by showing you guys how that system works. I'm quite excited about that, actually. I get suggestions to come to Vietnam. that would be also awesome. My friend Steve MK, the Dakar rider, all in travel, if you've seen his channel, he rides everywhere, and he's ridden and made videos about Vietnam, and it looks really cool. So if I get to live another year, every year, a new country, and Vietnam will be one of those, for sure. Am I a bike mechanic? Actually, no, far from it. Before I got the T7, I only did some mechanics on my mountain bikes. That's all. I never even had a moped as a kid. And so I guess I was about 48, 49 when I first unscrewed some bolts on a motorcycle. But you just have to dare, and then you realize it's not that complicated. And you need time and beer, and yeah, just try to be organized. And I'm not a good mechanic, but I'll start doing the services, at least the small ones on this one, because there's no warranty left on it anyway. The tires right now, I never used before, and they are Michelin trackers, so they are really knobby and aggressive. Because they're cheap. That's, a pair of Motus Adventure tires that we use for the long trips, they are about 450 euros for a set now. Become more expensive now. Not sure if it's after the pandemic and the Russian invasion stuff, but these tires are 160 per set, 160 euros or dollars. They're pretty much the same. And really knobby, and so if you're going a bit off-road, they're like glue on dirt. But of course, going on tarmac and stuff, they wear quite fast. But I changed my own tires, so if you get two and a half sets of these for the same price as the higher end or more expensive, that's okay. Would you recommend the T7 for a newbie? I'm relatively large, and then unfortunately don't fit into anything smaller. Yeah, I would recommend the T7. First of all, we're not talking about I'm a beginner, should I buy a road racing pro bike? Because that would be something that you need to be a pro for to use. But the T7 is it's an easy bike. It's great for a beginner and a pro. And everything in between. So I bought it because I liked the looks of it, and I keep loving it. So it's you can always point on things on every bike. This one is top heavy or something, but there's a KTM is less top heavy, but it's not night and day. We're comparing just small differences and so on. And if you ride the bike that you have a lot, you'll get used to it. And I don't experience top heaviness or anything. It's the bike I ride, and it is what it is. So you just get better at compensating for whatever it is. And most of the bikes of this type are quite high. So yeah, but they can be lowered. So hello from Romania. Salutare, Stefan. Are planning a visit this year? I would love to go to Romania this year again. I'd like to go to Romania every year as a standard thing as I do in my life. because it's my favorite place to ride, and also my good friend Dragos is there, and he, at least what he says to me, that he built the Nomads a little separate house beside his house so we can live there. So all right, so do I plan to go tubeless? No, I don't bother, because, and I guess for the same reason as I don't have crash bars. So far I never had a problem, and I keep riding till I get into problems with something and need to do something about it. On this bike I never had a flat after 63,000 kilometers, knock on wood, but I never had a flat on this bike. I assisted others in yeah, when you get a flat you have to take the whole wheel off, but I mean, it's not that bad. It makes good video and so on. And same with the crash bars. I've been on the ground with this one more times than I can remember, and I never had a scratch on the bike. Because without the crash bars, the bike is so narrow, especially the T7, it's like a blade. And every time I fell with the bike, the handguards stopped it, and the bike is sort of not, it's quite a good distance to the ground. So, of course, you can have some big boulder or whatever sticking up there and do damage, but I have the engine covers, these plastic covers on the sort of on the engine, and that's been good so far. So, and I like the narrow, lighter bike. Check the Tiger 900 Rally. I'm a tall rider. Oh yeah, that's for, that wasn't for me. The tire there. I'm sorry you got to Sweden and got a flat tire here. I hope you come back and don't get a flat. Am I satisfied with the tower? Let's see. Yes, but the reason I got the tower was because of the Carpe Itter tab and the holder. That's 1 kilo, and just having that, I had a high mount for it because I want it up high, like a road book and the normal display down there. I don't want to move it down and have the display on the handlebar and stuff like that. This is the way I want it. But on the before I had the tower, it was too much weight up there, so the whole thing came loose. The whole front started shaking and coming loose. I had to tighten bolts sometimes. So I got the tower mainly to have a really sturdy holder for the road book. So, and then I thought it looked cool, of course. So, but in October coming up is my, what do you call it, MOT, the inspection. And I will not even try to do the inspection with the tower on because of the lights. The lights are not sort of screened or deflected as normal lights are. They are round, so the light is completely round, not the half beam sort of cut off, so you don't sort of blind the traffic. So they will not like those lights, so I have to install the original, go to the inspection, and then reinstall it. So that's something I have to do, I guess. But otherwise, yeah, I'm happy with it, and it makes the bike look unique. So I am a vain guy, really. I need things to look nice and cool. All right, people also love Romania. That's fun about Romania. I had a different sort of view of what Romania was. I didn't know anything about Romania before, just what I saw on the news, and we had problems with beggars outside supermarkets, and yeah, they're from Romania. But then I got there and got a completely different view of it. The tow car driver had difficulties finding you when you had the flat. Okay. Too much of a bike for a beginner. T7 is the smallest of the mid-size enduros, I feel like. Yeah, it could be too much. It's all depending on what you want to do. If you want to start riding off-road and go technical, and you have zero experience with that, big bikes is a challenge. So perhaps then you should go with a cheaper, smaller bike that allows you to ride easier and handle and learn off-road with a smaller bike, but also a cheaper bike that you're not so afraid of getting dents and scratches on. Like so. I'm talking so much, I don't get to sip. All right. Yeah, so I did this. I was supposed to reroute the cable here because I never had flats, but I'm prepared for flats always. I always bring under the saddle. I have the spare tube, 21 inch, works perfect both front and rear. And then I have this little air pump. I bought this small one. Yeah, what's the name of it again? It doesn't say on it. I don't remember because, but yeah, it's really small. And then I changed the cable to this C-Tech cable there. So that, and then I have the C-Tech charger coming out here from the side on the bike. So I don't have, because normally I have luggage on and so on, and out riding I get a flat. I don't want to take all the luggage off just to get the seat off to connect it to the battery. So it's just to plug in and start using. Let's see if it works. And that's what I was trying to do actually, to route the cable here in a way that I can access it. There it is. Let's see if it works. Just connect it. Yep. And not only for flats, of course, because if you end up in a rocky place and you know it's going to be like this for a long time, then you might want to lower the air pressure a little bit. Then it's easy to inflate them again. So that's good. Am I on HD or Ultra HD tubes? Right now I have the brand Tough Tube, and there's, so I think that's HD only. They're 2 millimeter tubes. They worked so far, and on the long trips combined with the Motus tires, they are almost like Panzer tires, impenetrable, and yeah, it's been working good. So yeah, let's see. Have I ever considered getting a lighter ADV bike, a second bike? Yes, I think for every bike I get, which is not often, I'm not the one who changes often. I started with the biggest bike, yeah, of course, the BMW GS Adventure 1200. And then I went down to this size, much more fun and so on. And I will never buy a heavier bike than this. So if I ever swap this one, it will be a lighter bike for sure. I don't think I will, in the near future at least, get a second bike. If I did, I would not get sort of 650 or 600 because it's too close. I can do pretty good with this one. But I would get something like 450 adventure / rally bike, not a KTM rally replica for $28,000, but it would be interesting to look at this Kobe, the Chinese, if it's any good. There are some reviews now, but to look at that rally bike, or the Fantic, but that's a bit expensive, 18,000 euros. That's a bit on the high end, because that's more like a real rally bike. But I'd go for something that size, not over 150 kilos, if I were to get a second bike, because then I can take a trailer or shorter rides, and they can be used as adventure bikes also. All right, Daiti. So I'm not getting anything done here, and we're coming up to on an hour here, and I guess that's quite good. I need to finish this, you know. It takes forever talking that much. So yeah, I got a few messages because we haven't produced or published any videos lately. Are you okay? People are checking in to see if we're doing all right. So that's nice. But it's just been I don't have an excuse really. I've been filming a lot, remaking the Suzuki, but that's sort of saved up on a hard drive for the entire project and so on. And I don't believe in making videos because I feel a pressure to do so. Then it doesn't become any good. So it needs to be from the heart and something that I feel that I should do. And I do have something growing now, and I'm taking all the notes that I can. A sort of Nomad take on the riding skills videos, because there's a lot of riding skills going on now with Adam Riemann and Brake Magazine and Brett Sachs and all those guys. They are phenomenal, but I have a different approach to it, so I'm eager to do that video. I've got a question, any long trips planned for this season? Yeah, we covered that, so go back in this live session, and we're talking about Africa, Tanzania. All right, thank you for the praise there from Norway. So the public opinion regarding exhaust noise in Sweden, here in the Netherlands, is coming more strict. Small country with a lot of people. Yeah, we don't have any laws yet that are restricting, like in Germany, they're closing down roads and stuff, forbidding motorcycles to go there because of the noise. We don't have anything like that in Sweden. But as an adventure rider, it's you go in the forests and so on, but there's always houses and summer houses and stuff like that. You don't want to go around sounding like a big engine and disturbing people. I changed my exhaust, so I get a deeper sound and I like it better, but it's not louder. So I don't like to go loud that way. Right. I was about to end this stream, but it keeps coming in people and asking stuff, and it's too much fun. So, all right. How's the grip mod versus the original heated grips? Actually, I've been riding quite a lot with them now, and they're good. I have this cheap Chinese heat sort of film underneath, and then the foamy grips, and yeah, I like it. It works. Two heating levels, and the high level is adequate. It's better heat than the really bad OEM Yamaha heated grips that I got with the bike in 2019. They were not good. So this is better and warmer than those, at least. Not like the Oxfords where you can prepare bacon on the handlebars, but then we have the low heat setting, and that doesn't really work at all. So it's only the high, or which is good. The lower doesn't go. But the grips I like, because it's sort of a little bit of suspension from vibrations and shaking and things like that. Can't get enough of your turkey video. Yeah, thank you. And it's been such a cool thing with turkey now, because we released the turkey video in October, and it did quite all right. It was a line like this, and then the YouTube algorithm found that people in Turkey likes to see the Swedish people go around and experience Turkey, and that just skyrocketed. So 40% of all the viewers of the channel in March were Turkish people. So it really boosted the channels, and right now we're just coming up on 50,000 subscribers, which was sort of a wet dream back when we started, but now just any day we'll go over 50, and that's a big thing. Robert, come to Russia. Actually, why not? Because that's another country to explore and go through. And that's the thing with traveling on bike. You go on adventure on the small roads, and you meet people, and people are always nice. Then we have politics. We went to Turkey, and we have Erdogan, and we have Sweden fighting over NATO memberships and what they did to this or that country and whatever. I don't care, because when you meet the people, they're always hospitable and nice and so on. So I don't I sort of rule out Russia as a place to go adventure biking in, regardless of what their Putler is doing. Current mileage of my T7 is 63,000 kilometers plus change. Yeah, Swedish government needs to send us guys to Turkey to talk to Erdogan, and Sweden will be in NATO in no time. Actually, things were warming up now after our trip, so I think we did a good job there. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Visited the bike shop, looking at the World Rally T7. Yeah. Can't you and T.S. Hausen show the English lady who calls herself Safi Sprocket to show her Scandinavia? Yeah. Collaborating with other YouTubers is fun, and that's what we've been doing with T.S. Hansen and Mattias Eriksson and so on. So let's see if we make some videos together for certain projects or something like that. Yeah. Let's not get into politics. I'm not interested. So, all right. If I ever plan to ride the TET in the Netherlands, I haven't planned it, but to be honest, I don't know much about the TET in the Netherlands. I just have, it would be part of a longer trip, I guess. We have not planned to go to do the TET in Netherlands and go home, so it would be sort of part of a bigger trip and squeeze that in, I guess. So that would be interesting. Yeah. Will I attend the Adventure Bike Festival in the UK? I don't think I will, or we, but it was close. We were really looking at it and sort of making the decision of to go or not to go, but it became an economical decision because we had to spend all the money on the Africa trip. And even if we go for a few days and so on, I'd like to do UK separately and as a bigger trip for a few weeks, I guess, because I know some people there, and we have the ACT and the TET, and we have some nice areas, and perhaps Ireland as well in the same trip. So I'm saving UK to make a full tour there. Would be nice. Come to Australia, Robert, says Patrick. I'd love to, just so bloody far away. But yeah, I could fly and ride. And actually, my daughter is in Melbourne right now. She's an exchange student, and she'll be coming home in end of May. So we have said that we will go back to Australia as a family soon. I hope they forgive me if I just disappear on a bike for a couple of weeks. All right. Okay, guys, it's been an hour. There's so much fun talking, and people are coming in. But I think actually we're going to cut it short now. And I just want to say thank you for sticking with the channel. And we haven't done any videos just recently, but it's just when we have sort of the feeling for it. And there's no pressure making videos all the time. So I want to make it good. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining here in the garage, and see you next time. Right. Bye-bye.